Okay. Um, Hi, how are you today?
Pretty good yourself.
I am good. So before we get started, I would like to go through some consents with you.
Okay.
Um, so to start this off, I just want you to know that this is a safe space. Okay, anything you talk to me will remain confidential. But I do need to let you know that if I feel any concern for your well being or anyone else's well being, that is something I will have to report just to make sure that everyone is safe. Do you understand?
Yep.
Okay. If we decide that we want to send any referrals out to any third party agencies, I will obviously get your consent beforehand.
Okay.
Okay. If there's any risk of a child being in danger, I will have to report that as well. Do you understand everything that I am disclosing?
Yes.
Okay,
Okay.
good. So, where would you like to start today?
I think today I'd like to maybe start and talk about my spending and my budgeting as I leave myself short for bills.
Okay, you said that you leave yourself short for bills. So, what does that look like to you?
I feel that I should have more money than I do in my account, and I don't know where all my money goes.
So, what does your spending look like for you? Can you give me a little bit of like a breakdown of that?
Well, I have my loan payments for my vehicle. I have a few other different kind of subscriptions, and I vape as well.
Ooh, oh god. Okay. Stop. Um. So, what do you think is one thing that needs to happen to change the problem?
I think I need to stop making things so easily and conveniently accessible
Okay, and how do you think you could do that?
by removing my cards off of my phone.
Yeah, technology nowadays has definitely made things a lot easier for spending. It's so easy to go around and tap and tap
It
and
is.
tap.
It is.
I know I
Really.
struggle with that myself, so I completely understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Um, 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 what other ideas do you have about what it will take to make a change?
To make a change. I think I just need to be more disciplined. Stop getting so much, fast food and takeouts and coffees. Is there any advice that you would have as well?
Um, mm, my advice to you would be mm, to make things as hard as possible to spend money. It's so easy to use your cards or your phone. Maybe if you pull money out in cash, then it creates a bit more of that inconvenience, right? Because you gotta go to the bank, you gotta take the money out, and then you gotta go inside. You can't be going through drive-throughs. You gotta go inside, and you gotta break bills, and it creates an inconvenience where you might not want to spend money like that because it's so inconvenient because when you're able to just tap or go through drive through, it just makes it so much easier
Yeah.
to be able to spend money. So if you try and challenge that a little bit, it won't be so convenient for you.
Right.
Whenever things are challenging, as humans, we tend to try to avoid it. You know, we always like to take the easy route. So
It's very true.
who else knows about this problem?
My wife.
My wife.
My wife.
What would your wife say about the problem?
She would say that I probably shouldn't have my own bank account. I am just terrible with finances. She handles most of the more serious finances, be it because of it as a result.
Yeah.
And she's tried to encourage me not to go and spend money on things when I could save money and do those same things at home.
Do you find that helps you?
The encouragement definitely does help. Definitely. Not every day, all the time, but in those moments where I'm about to go get in my car and go get something that I could just make at home or easily avoid that cost, I do at least think about it more.
That's good. It's good that you're starting to recognize your habits. Is there anything else that you feel like you could do?
Nothing that I'm aware of, but I have been doing some research on different kinds of savings accounts.
Saving accounts are amazing for saving that money. Sometimes, if you don't see it, it's out of sight, out of mind. You
Yeah,
completely
I'm
forget
very
it
much an out of
exists.
sight, out of mind person. That's why I struggle with condiments in the fridge.
Where do you think your money spending habits come from?
I think it just comes from not having a lot as a child.
Yeah.
Didn't grow up with money. I didn't always have everything I needed. So now that I'm an adult and I make money, I tend to spoil myself and justify it because of that.
That's completely understandable. You're trying to make up for what you feel like you lacked as a child, so I understand that. Do you feel like you're making up for it?
I do.
You do?
I do. Little things that I do, like buying my coffees at Timmy's or, going places, doing things, buying electronics that I don't necessarily need just because I want them.
Do you feel like your habits might also be taking away
They are.
a little bit?
Yeah, they're adding stress, like I said in the start, just not having enough money for the things that I do need to pay for.
Yeah.
They kind of become like an oversight, and it's not normal for me.
You say it's not normal for you. What do you mean by that?
Well, I wasn't always such a big spender.
Yeah.
I think with the more money I make, the more I spend. I think I'm starting to outspend my budget.
Do you feel like we're getting to the issues that you want to focus on?
I think so.
Do you feel like this conversation has been helpful?
Actually, I do. I just felt a little slight release there.
That's good. I'm glad I can.
It's nice to talk to somebody who isn't judgmental.
Of course, it's hard talking to people when you feel like, they might be thinking of you differently or judging you, or you can just feel that things are off. It's always good to have a safe space where you feel like you can talk about anything that might be on your mind or anything that you're feeling.
I feel that here. I feel safe.
I am always here if you ever need to talk.
I appreciate that.
Is there anything else that you want to talk about today?
I want to talk about my newfound hobby and maybe another reason why I'm spending a lot more.
Of course, let's get into it.
So I picked up welding and I picked up auto body work. So I bought a project car that I have been working on, and I'm rushing to get everything done in a set time frame, and I believe that might be pushing my boundaries a little bit.
Hobbies are great. It's great to have something outside of, responsibilities. It's good to have something that you're passionate about. Why do you feel like you're trying to rush it?
I associate getting stuff done as quickly as possible with success.
Yeah.
I feel like if I don't get it done as quickly as possible, then it wasn't good.
Why do you feel like you feel that way?
Maybe I feel rushed for time, just in life in general.
Um, can you think of a time when you didn't feel like you were on this time limit? You had to get everything done all at once?
Well, back in my early adolescent years, I would say yes, because when I was between the ages of like 5 and 10, I actually had a very pleasant childhood. Didn't really have much of a sense of time, which really helped with enjoying moments I was in, playing with my friends and enjoying sports and just having fun. I wasn't counting the days, time,
Yeah.
none of that. I went fishing a lot, enjoyed the outdoors, been camping. The days felt like they went on forever. Now they feel like they just come and go so fast.
I love that you feel like you had some good experiences in your childhood. That's awesome. I'm sorry that you feel like you don't get that same feeling or sensation anymore. Around what time do you think you started feeling that way?
probably from like 10 and onwards, with my parents' divorce, and that was very messy. And then being homeless at 12 years old didn't help, and there was just no real structure at all. I was left to kind of fend for myself and figure everything out on my own.
Wow. You were homeless when you were 10 years old?
12.
12 years old.
12 years old, yes.
And that happened after your parents' divorce?
It did, yeah. So when they split up, my dad didn't have a spot for me, and I got kicked out of where my mom was staying.
Wow. I can't imagine what that would have been like for you.
Honestly, I didn't think much of it at the time. At the time, it was more just doing what I had to do. But like looking back on it now, it angers me a lot.
What angers you about it?
Just the situation in general and my age at the time, and felt like they kind of just gave up on me.
How does that make you feel?
Sad.
Do you feel like that's impacted you now that you're an adult? What kind of effect does that have on you now?
I think it has messed with my emotions quite a bit. Like I resent them, but at the same time, like I feel bad for them.
Yeah.
And with all that happening at such a young age, my emotions, I never got to really develop them. Sad to kind of shelter them away from the rest of the world, which results in probably a lot of my anger issues and just emotional deficits.
It's a lot of pressure on a kid. How do you think experiencing all that as a child relates to you feeling like you're on a time limit as an adult?
Because I just want to fix everything. I feel like I am not where I should be by now.
You feel behind compared to other people your age?
Yeah. And I see it everywhere. Everyone else looks like they're living such a great life, and I'm just kind of stuck.
Why do you feel like their life is so much better?
Because they have goals. They're in college. They're, moving out of their parents' places. They've got vehicles. Like they seem so much better off. Happy.
What have you accomplished?
Well, I got sober, and then got a job. I got my own place. I have a beautiful baby girl. And I'm an amazing wife.
So it sounds like you also have accomplished quite a bit for your age.
I guess I just went in a different direction.
And that's okay. We're not always gonna go down the same path and always end up in the same spots as everyone else our age. Sometimes life leads us in different ways, but it sounds like you've still accomplished a lot, and it sounds like you've come really far.
Thank you.
Of course. You don't need to think. Sorry. What's the time?
Thank you. Ask me to close. Just-